Away from the NBA now, let's quickly do a recap of the top trending stories from the courtrooms.
We begin with the report that the Abuja division of the Court of Appeal last week Thursday upheld the election of Mr. Yahaya Bello as the duly elected governor of Kogi State. The court dismissed all the 4 appeals challenging his return as governor in the November the 21st polls. The appeals were filed by Mr. James Faleke, the then running mate of the late Abubakar Audu, the PDP's Idris Wada, who contested the poll as the incumbent governor, the Labour Party, and the African Democratic Congress. By a split decision of 4-1, the majority of the justices confirmed Governor Bello's election. But one member of the 5-man bench disagreed with the majority judgment read by Justice Adekunle Owode on former Governor Wada's appeal. Justice Owode held in the lead majority judgment that Wada lacked the locus standi to challenge the APC's substitution, nomination and sponsorship of Bello as its candidate because it was an intra-party affair which could only be questioned by an aspirant who participated in the primary which produced the candidate. Justice Owode also held that, contrary to Wada's contention, Bello validly inherited the votes polled by Audu's ticket in the November the 21st, 2015 election because the votes belonged to the APC and not the late Audu. The Court of Appeal also dismissed Mr. Faleke's appeal for lacking in merit. Staying in Abuja, the High Court last week Friday dismissed an application by a former minister, Ambassador Bashir Yuguda, seeking leave to travel abroad for medical checkup. Justice Olukayode Adeniyi dismissed the application on the grounds that it was frivolous and did not have the consent of the sureties. Mr. Yuguda, a former Minister of State for Finance, is standing trial for alleged diversion of 3.3 billion naira alongside retired Colonel Sambo Dasuki, the former National Security Advisor. They are facing charges alongside 4 other defendants. In Lagos, proceedings were stalled last week Thursday in the case bordering on allegations of conspiracy and fraud proffered against Dr. Uche Oga, who is the main challenger in the PDP primaries which produced the governorship candidate for the April 2015 elections in Abia State. On June the 16th, the police had arraigned him alongside an oil firm, Masters Energy Oil and Gas Limited, a bank, and an ex-employee of the bank, Deji Shomoye, before a magistrate court sitting in the Tinubu area of Lagos. Chief Magistrate Kikelomo Ayeye was, however, said to be unavailable, and even though parties turned up in court, the matter could not go on. Parties, however, agreed to come back before the court on October the 10th. A federal high court sitting in Lagos last week ordered a first-generation bank to nominate a chartered accountant within 7 days for the purpose of carrying out a forensic audit of statement of accounts on the alleged 50 billion naira loan allegedly granted to businessman Mr. Jimo Ibrahim by the bank. The accountant will work with 2 other accounting firms nominated by the Asset Management Corporation of Nigeria, AMCON, and the businessman. The court has also ordered that the joint forensic audit is to be conducted by the 3 chartered accounting firms within a month at the bank's headquarters. The matter has been adjourned till September the 28th for a report of progress or settlement. And we round off with a report that a Nigerian woman, Franca Asemota, aged 38, found guilty of attempting to traffic Nigerian girls through Heathrow Airport to work as sex workers in brothels across Europe, was last week Thursday sentenced to 22 years imprisonment. Asemota was convicted last week Wednesday at Isleworth Crown Court on 12 counts of conspiracy to traffic persons for sexual exploitation, trafficking persons outside of the United Kingdom for sexual exploitation, and assisting unlawful immigration. A statement by the UK High Commission in Abuja said 5 of Asemota's victims gave evidence against her during trial. One of them was rescued from prostitution in Montpellier, France, during a joint operation by Immigration Enforcement and the National Crime Agency. The convict, Asemota, was identified as a trafficking suspect in 2012 but fled from Italy to Nigeria when some of her co-conspirators were arrested by Immigration Enforcement investigators. She spent time in Europe before she was tracked down to Nigeria, arrested and subsequently extradited back to the UK in January this year after her identity was confirmed.
And this is where we end today's episode of the program. You can give us feedback via any of our social media handles. Feel free to also watch the program again or any past episodes on our YouTube channel. I'm Shola Shieli. Thank you for watching.